10 to 8, yeah? So it's just over 90 minutes ago was my last Facebook status update, yeah? Now, what do you think it is?
I think it is about Occupy movement.
Right, you think it's about the Occupy movement. So what do you think I might have written on my Facebook status update?
I was in a tent.
What?
I was in a library tent.
I was in a library tent. Yeah? I was in. Any other ideas?
I think it starts with yesterday.
You think it starts with yesterday? Yeah? Okay. Let's have a look. Yeah? Have a look at my Facebook status update and read it, and then tell each other what it's about and what I wrote and what anybody has commented, if anybody has commented about it. Okay? So here it is.
In this case, these were Czech business students meeting people who are not happy with the way business is run work-wise. I remember being impressed talking to a guy in Belfast about the library that he used when he was in the Maze prison. I was similarly impressed by this tent library yesterday.
So here we have Sol students at Exeter Cathedral experiencing the Occupy movement.
See these tents here? What do you think this is about?
Is it some kind of demonstration?
Yes, yes. Now what do you think it's a demonstration about?
For democracy?
Uh-huh. Let's go and have a look and see what it is. Here's the library. Now, can you see? Where can we get? I'll go and have a look.
Okay, now in your groups, just say to each other what books you noticed. What titles or what kind of books are these? Uh-huh. Yeah, let's watch it again and look at the titles of some of these books, okay? And see. Let's watch and take it back a little bit. Okay, right, so tell each other any titles of the books that you noticed.
Anatomy of Power.
Anatomy of Power, very good. Any more?
Heroes.
heroes. Yeah.
I think that those books were brought by people, kind of a donation maybe.
The library is there from the beginning.
Do you find this book interesting, by the way? Well, in connection with this movement, I would say they are interesting, but somehow too creative for daily life.
Do you remember when we were in Ilfracombe and we had a poster with advantages and disadvantages? Do you remember what it was about?
Transportation.
Yeah, transportation. And what were we looking at? The advantages and disadvantages of what? Privatisation and nationalisation. Great. Yeah. Now, in your group, you have a poster here, and I'd like you to do the same thing on pros and cons, arguments for and against having these tents here outside the cathedral. And I'd like you first of all to talk about what your host families said.
That they didn't somehow want us to be involved in that, so they didn't say much about that. But I think that they weren't against it.
I would say that the opinion of our family is the same as yours one. So they basically don't know so much about it. They're just trying to. They were trying to understand it when I was explaining that. They don't know much, and they think that it's not really so connected to them because they are elderly, and they think that they wouldn't be able to do these things, and so they didn't want to be involved. That's it.
Yeah, we talked about it. They know it, but they didn't agree with it. They think that it's have no sense or no.
That there's no point in
Yeah,
it. Yeah?
yeah.
They thought that there was no point.
Yeah.
No point in it. Yeah. That it was. Okay. Good. Now on your poster, put a line down the middle and say plus, minus. Yeah. For, against, and see if you can find arguments for this and arguments against this.
I don't know, because maybe they just want to change the government. What government do they want? They want to change it was immediate, like today everything has to change. But I think it takes longer time.
Jakub, could you read out what you've put the arguments for?
Okay, arguments for are people are not afraid to show their opinions. It can get people together. It is inspiration for another people. We can see equality among them. They share the same values, and they feel the change as a phenomenon.
Right, and the disadvantages?
They lack of constructive plan. We actually don't know who is behind. Some people don't really mean it. They get money from the government, but they complain about the government as well.
Okay, good, thanks. Yeah. I'm going now to show you the BBC coverage of this, and you can read. This was on the BBC website.
Occupy can face this action from Exeter Cathedral Green. Exeter Cathedral is to start legal actions to evict protesters camped in its grounds. Occupy Exeter, part of global movement against inequality and corporate greed, has about 30 tents on the cathedral.
Okay, now in your group, first of all, can you clarify any language here that anybody doesn't understand?
Corporate greed.
Corporate greed. Now this is an important word in business. Yeah? corporate. Yeah,
I think
corporate.
that it's something that corporations are taking advantage
Uh-huh.
of people who are not members or who are not somehow included in their big corporations.
Right. Have you ever done corporate on your business course? Have you ever looked at this word? Corporate?
I think we actually discussed corporate culture with some of you.
Mm-hmm.
Remind me, what was it about?
We talked a bit about code of conduct actually also, and customer service was also included a bit.
Corporate usually refers to big corporations, yeah?
But it
And
might also
corporate.
have a neutral.
Yes, it might have neutral, but people often use it in a negative way, yeah, like as a very
I
corporate.
think it is a buzzword in the US.
Yes, yes.
The Cathedral Green is both a sacred space and a burial ground.
Now, in your on your poster, can you add? Now we've looked at some more things here. Could you add any more advantages or disadvantages to your poster?
Which one have you added, Barbara? What does that say?
They destroy the grass and the property of the cathedral.
Right. They destroy the grass and the property of the cathedral. Good.
So what have you added now? Can you read it out?
City Hall and public are probably against it.
Yes.
And it's offensive for religious people.
Very good. Very good. Okay, Jana, nice and loud so that everyone can hear.
It is good that people are not afraid to show their opinions about the government, and it also can get people together and inspire the other people. And people in the Occupy movement share the same values and view of equality. And the word change change became the phenomenon they want to change a lot of things.
Good, thanks. And here, can we have someone who'll read out the disadvantages?
No, we think that nobody would listen to them because they seem to be like homeless people, and I think that nobody would listen to such people. Then, a cathedral doesn't want to cooperate with them, so they don't have any official support from the important institutions. So I would say that it is much better if you are protesting against something to have the support from, for example, local authorities or somebody who is more important than just normal people. The whole appearance of those people is not dignified. They look like a bunch of homeless in 60s with lots of dirty tents with peace and love, you know. They destroy the grass and the property of the cathedral. Then also the aggressive behavior and public safety is in danger, but we didn't see it with our own eyes, so it's quite hard to judge. It is spoiling the view of the cathedral, and it can put off some tourists, which is negative, I would say, for the city as a whole.
Good. And over here, can we add any more disadvantages?
Another is they don't have a constructive plan what they would like to do, and other people can have benefits for this organization as a homeless who don't have to interested in this organization.
We also talked about the money and the government and what they live on.
Another issue is the money, which the government gives them the money, but they protested against the government. It's controversial.
Like what we meant was that we don't know what they live on, but probably they do receive some money from the government. And we also discussed the religious issues. That it is a barrier around, and that it might be offensive for some people.
And they can be offensive and not so comfortable for religious who would like to go to the cathedral.
And maybe the children's issue also.
Yes. Another idea that near the cathedral is school and it can be dangerous for children.
Good, very good. Now, does your group have anything to add? Well done, very good. To any advantages you've got here, or positive things about this protest? Can somebody else read it this time?
Government can see that people are not satisfied with their system. The thoughts are good, or the thought is good, the idea, and also some people would recognize them and can follow them.
Good.
The library, please come in. Yeah. So when did this start? The library?
We've had a library since the first couple of weeks. Like, it's something that we just think is a really nice thing to have around.
Right.
A lot of the books have been donated by people just in the community. A lot of the books have been donated by Bookcycle, which is a free book store. Go along and get books for donations.
I noticed that you used the verb occupy. Aren't you worried that it is basically quite a strong word, right? Couldn't it put off some people once you hear the word occupy?
Occupy, do you mean the kind of war connotations? Like, it's for a country to be occupied?
Well, it's basically a way of saying we're taking our land back. It is. I mean, this world is ours, not the greedy fat cats, not the politicians. It's everyone's. Everyone's to share. It is. I mean, look at this. With the case of the Canon Chancellor, one of the administrative figures of the cathedral behind me, he considers this his private front garden. He has used that in a sentence, right?
He considers this his private garden. Yeah? The man in the cathedral. Just watch a tiny bit more.
But church lands are for everybody and anyone.
And it does have a lot of strong connotations. I think it also has a lot of, I don't know, it just works in so many sentences, like occupy your mind, or my time is being occupied by occupy. It just seems to really work in a lot of good ways as well.
Right. Now, two things. What did she say about the library? Yeah? Talk to each other. Say as many things that you noticed that she said about the library. And what did she say about the word occupy? And what other uses did she say about the word occupy? Yes, occupies my time. And what other use of occupy did she say? Yes, it occupies my mind. Yeah? So that means that I think about it a lot. Yeah? It occupies me. I think about it a lot. It occupies my mind. Uh-huh.
The 15th of October, I think, was when the New York one started up and when the London one started up. So they've been there longer. We've camped out through the winter and Christmas and New Year's.
I think what we're doing here is we're developing these democratic skills, which is to look at an issue and then to look at arguments for and against. You now know much more than your host families know about this protest in Exeter. Just by us spending 1 hour on it in school today, you know more about it. And what we're going to do now is we're going to have a vote, an anonymous vote. Would you evict these people or not? Based on the what you've seen. You know, you can only go on what you've seen yesterday and what we've done today, but we'll have a vote and put on it, would you evict them? Yes or no? Eva, can you slowly tell us the results, read them out, and then tell us how many put yes, they would evict, and how many no?
1 yes. No. 3 yes. 4 yes. 2 no. 3 no. 5 yes. No. 4. No. 5.
So it's 5-5. So we have the last one. The last one is?
Yes.
Oh, so 6 are in favour of evicting the protesters and 5 are against it. Excellent. You've worked really well with this. Really well this morning. Congratulations.